Welcome to Friends and Family Discount. I'm your host, D'Angelo, where you at? And today we're going to talk about journey. Life is a journey. You have ups, downs, failures, success, a whole bunch of things. Think about your journey. Today, we have a friend with us who will talk about their journey. Let's listen.
Hi, my name is Denique Nashay. I am the owner of SightofShe, which is a photography and design business located in Oklahoma City, and this is my journey. So my journey from the beginning of my brand till now, I've been doing what I do basically for 5 years, going on 6 really. So it's been one hell of a process just even trying to brand yourself and get into the creative scene that you were not aware of that was here, let alone where to start with who is in these spaces and, how to navigate yourself through these type of spaces when you are new. So it's been a process. It's funny because SightofShe actually wasn't my first brand name. It was, I think Shady Visuals was what it was at first, because it was a play on like my middle name and some other stuff, and that's what I went with at the time. But as I started playing around more with, why I do what I do and the whole premise of like someone being able to come to me and trust their vision and, trust that my collaborative or my efforts on that will also enhance their vision is kind of wild to me. So it was like really anybody who comes to me has to trust in not only their vision, but they also have to trust in my interpretation of that vision. So it's like they have to trust in my sight, my vision as well, in order for them to even come to me and want me to be a collaborative person on their projects. So I was like, well, shit, like, why not do, SightofShe? Like, she is me. So, it's been a process from the brand name to even just making connections here in the city. I've had to basically get myself out of the introverted self that I am, basically just getting to that point where I have to force myself out of the house, or even not even force myself, but be more open to going to these like little nooks and crannies and events that we have here. Some great events that you would never really know about unless you were like connected or wanted to even be in these type of spaces. So once I found like where these spaces were and the people who were in them, I just started working myself up from there, just being genuine with my personality and my vision, my goals, and being open enough to allow others to know that, because I feel like that's a huge reason why people's journeys are so long. Like, and, that dictates how quickly you'll get to your goal, is if you're open to letting a few people know where you're trying to go, because, you never know. Some people can put you in a place where you get to that end goal faster just because you simply did let them know that you're trying to do whatever it is you're trying to do. So just being open to a lot of things and being okay to fail and go through that process, because I think people underestimate really what a journey is. When we see journeys, we always kind of get the highlights. We always get the highs. We never really see, the lows that are a part of a lot of people's journeys. So it's just interesting kind of figuring out like, okay, looking at other people who have gotten so far, and you kind of look and go into their story just to figure out like, okay, how long did it take them to pop, or how long did it take them to solidify their business wherever they are. And you just start realizing like there's a lot of stuff that we don't see that is behind the scenes. So that's something I feel like for sure when you are on a journey, you have to start accepting that a lot of what you do and what you're going through is not going to be someone else's, journey, and they might not be able to relate, but we all can relate to the fact of like we have those we have stuff that's going on in the background that nobody know about. Like, you're not gonna know what it took to get to this point, or the stuff that I had to sell, the hours I had to work in order to even buy my first camera, or how I got my first camera, or that whole process. So yeah, just really being like open to everything, and just being genuine enough for people to also attract themselves to you. Wasn't hard, I would say, at the beginning of my journey, but I would definitely say it's a process. I can definitely look from at the beginning of when I started design and photography, and just even like I remember certain comments that were made to me in the process of beginning my journey with basically what I do now. And so just being able to have okay, this is what used to get said to me, now we're here. I used to get questioned about my pricing. When you first start something, everyone's like, oh my God, no, I don't know about that. I don't know if you're owed that. And so to now, where it's like people are reaching out to me like, hey, I want you on this project. I need you here. I love what you do, Like, you start trusting in the journey. Really, once you start to get into that point where you have like such a contrast of like people not rocking with you to people rocking with you. So it was kind of rough at the beginning, but not nothing I couldn't handle, for sure.
Wow, what a beautiful journey. Have you ever thought about how friends and family discount affects business owners? For some, they don't care, but for others, they may take it offensive. I've thought about it myself, and I'm kind of on edge. Comment down below your thoughts. While you're commenting your thoughts, let's take a deeper dive into this topic.
So my thing with the family discount and the friend discount, it's really, I think people need to just I always say be honest from jump. Let me know if you are expecting something, because 9 times out of 10, that's where a lot of communication is always just ruined, because people, didn't even come with the true intent of what they wanted. And that alone will set how the relationship goes, because the other people or the person that's on the opposite side is going to know if you're trying to get a discount or not. Like, I don't believe other people think that, but there are certain words, certain wording that we once you've been in the game for a minute, you start realizing there's a correlation here. Like, this is 9 times out of 10 going to follow up with a lower price that's being requested, or can we collaborate, or things of that nature. So, I mean, as long as I don't have a problem being asked for a discount, because just as much as you don't have a problem with asking me, I don't have a problem declining, So, and I think that's something also people need to, it is kind of offensive when you look at it at the beginning, because it's kind of like, if you family or my friend, why wouldn't you want to give me my, my full price? But at the same time, I do realize that certain people like to, I guess, use their connects. And when you are family and you are friends and you have seen someone start from the ground up and they are family, sometimes these people be supportive of you. So it's kind of like, why not give them a family friend discount? But off the strength of you just being a fam or something, those people who are like family and they come out of nowhere. Yeah, probably not a situation like that, no, because I really don't know you, or a friend that I'm really not that close with. It's just, if you have the right to ask for certain things. So for me, I don't have that much of an issue with it. Just be honest with me. Usually from there, I'm I start asking, certain questions just to get a gauge on what really we're trying to do, or what we're expecting from the shoot or the design. But it's not necessarily offensive anymore to me, just because people are going to be people. It's just kind of something where you automatically, people, when you are in a service and you are in these creative fields, and you're so accessible, these are the things that kind of come with being accessible, because, we're all working to be big name. And once you do get to be big name, the accessibility gets, smaller and smaller. But when we are starting at these levels, that we're starting at now, it is very much so, people think that they could just come and talk to you whenever, and that you're on their time and you can ask for discounts and what have you, but it's okay for us to put up those boundaries as well. So I would say for a lot of artists, not to feel so offended by it if it makes sense, but if it doesn't, just say no. Like just they asked you, you can easily decline. And you can always tell people your boundaries too in the process of like you not feeling okay with being asked discounts. So, and I've done that before, where I've turned down plenty collaborative projects, or I've been asked discounts, and I've been like, no, I can't do that right now. But if we keep rocking, together, then I'll for sure, you'll definitely get a discount like later on, just because it's kind of like a loyalty thing. But it's just one of those things. You got to be open to hearing people out, I guess, a little bit, but also being firm in what you feel like you deserve. So some people don't feel like they don't not deserve, but they don't have to give anyone a discount. Their price is their price. And that's true. And that works for some people. And for others, they give them out here and there. So for me, it's just kind of like it's not really something I'm like super offended by. It's just kind of, I'm neutral to the asking for discounts and family friend discounts.
That was an interesting topic. Have you ever wondered what a world without creators would be like? What would we look at? What would we listen to? What would we even wear? The world would be pretty bland. Let's see how our friend feels about this topic.
This is such a huge question in itself, because this is how we get to where, or this is how I got to where I am now. Is a couple of people invested in me, down to family, as well as like just people who came across me and just felt like I had something that others didn't. And so for me, investing in creators is definitely something that I feel is huge. It's very important. Damn near it could make or break your career. That's how important I feel like it could be, because I do, when we are located in Oklahoma, and so this is Oklahoma. Oklahoma. It's not Atlanta. It's not California. It's not it's not these big, huge places that are known to have like people coming out of there for photography, music, that are like in a list of things. It's Oklahoma. We have the Thunder, and we have a little bit of stuff, but we're still kind of cementing ourselves, I guess, as like being that or one of those type of states. So with that being said, we do have a lot of this stuff is local. A lot of this stuff pops because of local support and people investing in their creatives that are around them. That I feel like it's just such a huge thing, in the sense of like, you wouldn't want to walk into a party and just be the person that's just like talking about how shitty the party is. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, why did you bring why are you here then, in a sense? So, and it's just real, like, why are you here? So and that's kind of the same thing with investing in creators, because if you are in a space where, even like Oklahoma, and there is few creatives, or we all know each other, in a sense, it's like, why wouldn't you go hard for your own people? Doesn't make any sense. You are one of us. Like, you should be going hard for anybody here, just because that's just sometimes how it go. I'm more talking on like a local deal, but investing in creatives in itself is definitely important. But I definitely would say like focusing locally as well, because I believe that's how a lot of your reach starts, is when you build locally. But support goes a long way. Support will always go a long way. I always think it's actually really funny, because here recently I just got in like a, as creatives, we go through these moods of when we feel we are not as creative and where we feel like we are overly creative. And just recently came out of like a little time frame of me feeling like I wasn't that creative. And in the time span that I felt what I was feeling, I had like people randomly just hitting me up being like, hey, I love your work, I appreciate your work, like keep doing it, I see that you're doing something different, da da da. And it's like those little moments like that. I don't think people realize how much that means, but it really is something that truly means the most to me, because it's like, well, how are they even knowing to hit me up during this time? It's almost like some people, like, it's stupid, but it's like I know that they don't feel or know that I'm going through this, but it's wild that it just linked up like that, like it synced up like that. You know, the universe, for whatever reason, told them to send that message or reach out to me, and I'm going through this, and that gave me, you know, the boost that I needed to get out of this headspace. Like, it's so important to invest. It's even more important to invest in those around you, because we all have the potential to get to that point of great and mass success, especially if we're using the people that are around us. So that, honestly, like I said, I really feel like has the power to make or break a career, damn near, just because that's how your attitude in regards to other creatives or artists around you. That's something that's, you know, that's huge. Everybody wants to be around Beyonce for a reason. Everybody wants to be around certain people for a reason. Jay, we name these big name people, Nip, like they have a power or a connection, in itself, that they feel like that they're willing to like bet on. Like, I want to be around so-and-so because they've invested in so much, they've done so much. I'm sure that I can learn so much from them. So, hopefully that was still on topic, but I do feel like investing in your creatives is the biggest thing, and I try to keep track of that for myself. Like, just keeping like, okay, ooh, I rock with this, retweet, like, comment. You know, it's just something so small, but a lot of that stuff, like, it genuinely I know makes some people's day. So that's what I just be about, just keeping the love, the rotation, and the support going. Cause why not? You know, we on this earth anyway, so why not leave a positive impact?
And we learned a lot about our friend today. If you want to learn more about them, check out the links down below in the description box. If you want to learn more about this show, check out oceanfourth.com. Don't forget to share this with your friends and family. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more episodes.